Namaste, Jai Bharat. It's not a good thing to speak of, but can't help it. There are attempts in all developing and upcoming societies to get differences created, disturbances created, and they target sometimes youths and teach them such kind of things. They go to the streets and take sticks and then create such instances of incidents where some of the youngsters get killed. Who kills is untold. One can understand easily because NATO bullets are found from many places and killed, and then huge marches. It happened in many places. Many places it happened in Sri Lanka, Bangladesh, Nepal, and multiple portions in Bharat. Actually, the whole thing began within Bharat. And I don't know, we could contain them. Fortunately, we have very uh, sensible and wise leadership who understands treachery, who understands such plots and shallow plans to destabilize us. And they had been at it on the vigil throughout so they could somehow contain all those things. Apart from this, there is a farmer agitation, Citizen Amendment Act agitation, and how many numbers of agitations one can read. And who are made instruments to this? These, it's in front of you. And many of them become victims of such instrumentalization inadvertently. But whether inadvertently or not, they become catalyst to destructive movements. This is what we see. And if you look at America, there's a person called as Eric Prince, I suppose. Who must be funding him, you can imagine. I can't speculate because I have no clue except speculations. I don't want to speculate. He was an organization of retired soldiers, retired but healthy soldiers who are young enough, who can be used to, who can be sent to different places for various purposes. Now that is an organization which is very effective at his hand, and which is effective as the people, those who are conditioning things at their hand, and these things get spread all over the world. And many insurgencies what we see in the entire world, especially our nation and surroundings, these people are behind it, and they desperately try operating. Actually, it is something like a guard doing his duty. A guard is always there at the gate, but a guard gets replaced always with another guard. So when you look at, there's always the guard standing there. You don't know whether you don't realize that the guard keeps changing, but for you, the guard is always there. 24 hours, it's a guard with maybe rifle, maybe not, but whatever is the situation there. Similarly, they keep sending batches of people for this. So the operation of attempting destruction, attempting disturbances in the targeted areas is an ongoing process on a continuous basis. This is an operation, right? Something like an ongoing business of a factory where insurgents is produced, packaged, and distributed and marketed. This thing is going on. And one story I heard is that this Eric Prince, not Eric from is a different person, who has recruited these people, and these retired soldiers were many of them would enjoy this, would be enthusiastically joining, and they'll keep getting assignments, and they'll keep going to places, keep doing, trying to complete their missions, and keep functioning. And this, they get replaced by another batch, another batch, another batch. So as on a routine, this thing is an ever-going process, continuing process. All that we can do today is to remain alert, and to the extent of vigil you can maintain, to that extent you remain safe. And where you lose one, you can become a Bangladesh. See, the nation's gone back in years. This is very dirty mind. Whosoever is behind it, and they think they are doing great things. No, this is inhuman. The people, very people speak of humanism, humanity, and human rights, do such things for their advantage as they think, which is not to their advantage. I remember that letter which was written by the Resident Chief, I think Swamish Chief, Silt is his name if I'm not wrong, very old letter. That time Franklin P.S. I think was the president of US, and the letter is so emotionally written. And he gives a curse to the people that you shall suffocate in your own waste. That letter, in my time this internet was not there. We got that letter Xeroxed, not Xeroxed cycle style those days. And that letter was such strongly emotional. And he concludes, says, you shall suffocate in your own waste. Because the US administration asked the Red Indians that would you must sell your land to us. And he narrates that we don't understand the concept of buying and selling land, air, water. But we can't help it. We'll give it back, we'll have to give you. Otherwise, the white man will come with guns at nights and take away our property and kill our people. That's the helplessness of a Red Indian chief. I think it must be available in the internet these days, or internet days. All documents must be available. Swamish Chief, Chief Silt, CLTA Chief, I'm not wrong. Long back during my first semester MA days, these things were cyclostyle and given to us by a professor who was a very sensitive man. He is a Cambridge character, student of Barnard Williams, who was a student of Wittgenstein, who was a student of Bertrand Russell. A professor who is a prince of the face of a kingdom. I wouldn't like to speak his name. I respect him a lot. His distributors and people like us were shocked to see. We were emotionally restless, in the sense angered. This is how things happen. And that thing still continues. That thing still continues. So, through these new instruments, from cyclostyling, it goes to Xeroxing, then all kinds for the new techniques and technologies, but it goes on. It's unfortunate. The world is yet to be friendly world, and I would honestly say, yet to attain the quality of deserving existence. We shall meet again. Namaste. Jai Bharat, Jai Sri Ram.